Hello guys. So our topic is first derivative test, by which we will check the maxima and minima position of a curve. So what is the working rule for this test? First we have a function. So working rule is, first we obtain f dash x. Second we put f dash x equals to 0 and solve it for the value of x. Now we get the values of x like a, b, c, etc. Now we check the maxima and minima of the function at these values. So first we consider x equals to a. So we want to check maxima minima at x equals to a. So we consider the two values of this x. So we will take, if it is x equals to a, so we consider a point which is nearer to this, but it will be a minus h, slightly lesser, and one more point on slightly next position, that is a plus h. So we will check the sign of f dash x on these values, neighboring values. So first we put a minus h in f dash x. Observe the sign. Of f dash x. Now put a plus h in f dash x. Again we check the sign of f dash x. Let us consider on a minus h we get the value, means we have sign positive, and on a plus h we get the result negative. So f dash x vary positive to negative. If f dash x value is changes positive to negative, that means function shows maxima at x equals to a. If the variation of sign is negative to positive, then function fx shows minima at x equals to a. So we will observe the variation of sign. According to this we get maxima and minima. Okay, we start the questions using this first derivative test. So the question is, we have a function fx is 1 over x square plus 2, and find the point of maxima and minima and their values. So we have this function. Now differentiate it. So on differentiation of this function using quotient rule, or you can say power formula, we get minus 2x over x square plus 2 whole square. So according to working rule, now second step is we put f dash x equals to 0. So minus 2x over x square plus 2 whole square equals to 0. So we get x equals to 0. So this is the point. You can say this is a turning point. So we will get the nature of curve, the variation of curve. Is it increasing to decreasing or decreasing to increasing? So according to that we get the maxima or minima, and after that we will get the maximum and minimum values. So first we will take slightly lesser value. So slightly less value of x than 0, so it will be negative 1. When you put this in f dash x, so f dash x is minus 2x over x square plus 2 whole square. Let us consider we place the negative value, so this will be negative, and with negative it becomes positive, and whole square is always positive, so we get the positive value. So the sign of f dash x is positive when we put 0 minus h, slightly lesser value. Now we put slight more value. And let us consider 0 plus h, or slightly positive value just like 0.1 in f dash x. So f dash x is minus 2x over x square plus 2 whole square, so it is positive, and this is positive, but with this negative, on product of these we get the negative value. So right now we observe this, the sign of f dash x changes positive to negative. So on 0 minus h to 0 plus h, f dash x sign changes positive to negative. So it shows maxima. Function shows local maxima at x equals to 0. Means function, the nature of curve changes positive, means increasing to decreasing, just like this. So if it is x equals to 0, and this is 0 minus h, and this is 0 plus h, and when we draw a tangent on this, so it is rising, so curve is increasing, and on this point when we draw the tangent, so it is decreasing. So fx shows maxima at x equals to 0. And for maximum value, we put this value in the function. So f0 will be 1 over 0 square plus 2, so we get 1 by 2. So f0 equals to half. This is the maximum value. This is your answer. Now the next question. The equation of curve fx equals to x cube minus 3x. So first we differentiate it and get the first derivative, that is 3x square minus 3, or you can say Now next is we put this value equal to 0. So 3x minus 1 into x plus 1, and this equates to 0. So we get the values of x. X is minus 1 and x is plus 1. So we have these two values on which we will check maxima and minima and get the maximum minimum values. So first we take minus 1. So at x equals to minus 1. So its nearer values are minus 1 minus h and minus 1 plus h. So it is slightly greater value and it is slightly lesser value. So we put these values in the f dash x. So minus slightly lesser value, then f dash x will be, so it is thrice x minus 1 and x plus 1. When you put this value, just like minus 1.1 and this is minus 0.9. So when we put this value in this, then it will be negative. When we put this value in this becomes negative. So we get negative and negative. So it will be positive. So f dash x is positive at slight value and slight lesser value. So on slight greater value, like minus 1 plus h, or you can say nearer to minus 0.9 in f dash x. So f dash x will be thrice, this is minus 0.9 and minus this, so you get negative, and when you put this here you get positive. So overall you get negative. So initially this is positive and right now it is negative. So the sign of f dash x changes positive to negative. So it shows function shows maxima, local maxima at x equals to minus 1. So maximum value when you put this value in a given function, so f minus 1 will be minus 1 cube minus 3 into minus 1. So you get this is minus 1 and this is plus 3, so you get plus 2. So f minus 1 is plus 2, that is the maximum value. Now we have value x equals to 1. So its slight lesser value is 1 minus h, like 0.9, and slightly greater value is 1 plus h, like 1.1. So when you put at x equals to 1, we will check the sign of f dash x. So on slight lesser value, f dash x, which is thrice x minus 1 and x plus 1. So on putting this value 0.9, we get negative factor, and when you put this 0.9 you get positive. So sign of f dash x will be negative. At slight greater value, then f dash x, when you put like 1.1 in this, so you get positive and you get positive, so overall it is positive. So the sign of f dash x at x equals to positive 1, then slightly lesser value is 1 minus h, slightly greater value is 1 plus h, and the sign of f dash x changes according to this negative to positive. So it indicates the function shows decreasing to increasing. So f dash x means slope. The slope of curve is decreasing first, then increasing. So it shows minima or the lowest point. So the minimum value f1, and you have the function x cube minus 3x, so it will be 1 cube minus 3 into 1, so you get 1 minus 3, that will be minus 2. So the minimum value of the function at minima at the lowest point, that will be minus 2. So this is your answer.